Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Nahmaduhu wa nusalli ala rasulihil kareem. Amma ba'd. So this is week 7. We are going to talk about the roles of universities for sustainable development. So earlier, before we start this class, we talked about the role of national institute and also international global institute. And also we talked about what is the local institute. Yeah. So what is yourself? What is your role in sustainable development? How you actually can help um, to become sustainable or to bring issues and solve it, or to practice some principles so that you can come up with sustainable development. So this time we are going to talk about what exactly we are doing at the universities. So we are not only telling that this responsibility, this is a huge responsibility of sustainable and development, but we are not saying that this is only the responsibility of the government or United Nations or the local stateman. We also say that we need to educate this, because without educating something, you cannot see the result. There is no development if there is no education. So that's why we need to start this first from the university, from the educational institute, whether it is from school, even from kindergarten. They teach, now they started teaching at the kindergarten. They say that, okay, you need to reduce the use of plastic, right? So in a way, they nurture students how you should how you should consume responsibly, whereby you should not waste it. So these are the akhlaq, what we call it, the ethics. If it is, if it is being taught in institutes like this, education, then definitely people who graduate from this, they will practice in their life. So that's why the role of university is very, very important, and especially our university, IIUM, we started teaching this at the beginning, not like senior students. We are starting at the freshmen. You are the freshmen, right? So you are the juniors and the first year students, so that the time that you are here for 4 or 5 years, so that you can actually practice this. So that is what, this is where actually the role of university is going to start. So we are going to talk about it this week, and this is what actually the presentation structure, the roles and responsibilities of universities for sustainable development, and then the COVID-19 impact to universities and sustainable development agenda. Especially why we are talking about number 2, because the moment, the time that we started this course to teach, or there were so many what do we call it, the flagship projects we call it. Each and every Kulliyyah has been given to follow certain flagship projects. Let's say, for example, Kulliyyah of engineering was given a river project. So they need to make sure that the river is clean, and at the same time they need to find out where this water comes from and how it comes and how it goes and how it is not being wasted, or what about the life under the river. These are the things. It's a kind of designing the river and make it river of life. So there are many engineering actually needed for this, so it was given to that Kulliyyah. Similarly, many other Kulliyahs took many other responsibilities. So when it was started, we were able to have some practices and activities. Because of that, we were able to win the United Nations Award for Sustainable Development Institute, right? In 2019, we received the award, the best institute for sustainable development. But what happened that while we teaching last semester, this COVID-19 came, because this course is not actually supposedly supposedly should be taught in this way. This is not what we meant. This is not, especially for this particular course, this is not how we want to teach you. We wanted to teach you, like, take you outside, sitting somewhere under the tree, under the cafeteria, sometimes even outside the university. We wanted to take you outside and then, bring your gadgets there and then talk about it, take this course outside. And we wanted to actually have some, what we call it, experiential learning. This is something new. It's not something new, it's always there, but the term something new, experiential learning. So you see something, you do something, and then you learn from it. It's not actually meant for classroom education, classroom teaching and learning. So we had issue when this COVID-19 came in. So lots of things that we need to change because of this issue, the pandemic. So again, we didn't stop. We didn't stop teaching this course within the available resources, within the available scope. We actually still teaching this so that our students can benefit, also can do something. And also we saw tremendous changes last semester. We saw our student, even though they were not able to meet each other, the lecturers and students, but they were able to do within their own area, and they able to cover something. In fact, the students at the mahalla, they were able to find problems that we discuss. They made case studies, and many of them they also published in newspapers, like I shared with you last time. There were so many others as well. And we are also planning to compile all the assessment that you are doing for this course. We are going to make a book. And I'm also one of the committee member, editing committee member. We are only, we almost more than 45 lecturers teaching this course. So among them, like 8-9 lecturers, they are the committee members to compile your work. So I'm one of them, happily. So I'm going to see your work and then compile it, and then we are going to make into a book. So all your reflections that you are writing in your journals, later whatever that you are going to do in your project papers, your individual term papers, it is all going to be counted. We were thinking to choose the best among you and then take you to Germany, because we are going to have a conference there, and the invitation already been given, but because of the pandemic, it's not moving. So these are the things. But again, as I told you, regardless of this pandemic, still we were able to achieve something, and everywhere the talk is going on, and we are promoting this because we need to understand that this is a part of a Muslim life, that we should think about it. Because when we were saying something, when we are as Muslims, we are giving so much to this world. We talk about the ethics and moral values and everything, but still the subject, the people who live, they were not able to understand what we were saying. Now they realized that somehow they have damaged to this universe a lot. Actually, if you ask me, a big country like China is still omitting the carbon. This is the carbon emissions are there for 50% of the world. Carbon emissions is actually comes from China. So these are the issues are there, and we are really struggling with this, and we didn't see it directly, but it doesn't mean that it won't happen. If we continuously do things like what we are doing today, definitely our children may not be able to see the world like we see today, right? So that's the reason why now it comes back to Muslim. As a Muslim, we need to protect this universe, because you need to understand this: we are the only creature in this universe who actually can control the entire universe. Give me one example, give me one creature which actually can control you. None. There is no, for example, you see, a dog can control some goats. You have seen it actually. Sometimes this dog is actually, it's like a security, you know, go somewhere and bring goats here and there, you know. You have seen the lion is actually kind of in charge for the entire forest, huh? So you can see that there are so many animals is actually controlling other animals, but is there any animal that controlling human being? The answer is no. That's because the entire universe was given to human being, and we are the controller. Allah says in Quran Sharif again and again, sakhara lakum. Many places Allah says sakhara lakum, meaning to say we have given you the control. All this you can control this in your own way, but you need to make sure that you control it in a way that it can benefit you. But we didn't do that. We failed. We abused the control, and because of that today we are facing many problems. We are increasing in populations, but the resources are decreasing, and in fact the lives in land and the lives in sea, ocean is actually at danger. All right. So that is the reason why as a Muslim it is very important to understand this issue of sustainability, and we need to educate this. So in order to start educating, it has to start from the school, from the university. All right. So that's why this presentation will give you the structure of role and responsibilities, and also the COVID-19 impact to universities. All right. So I just want you to do this if you can. How can universities contribute to sustainable development agenda? If you can see, it's okay. If not, I think I have some technical issues. That's the reason why I cannot open this open-ended question. But I just ask you a question: is how can university contribute to sustainable development agenda? Maybe one of you uh, representing the entire class, can you please give me an answer? What do you think? How can university contribute to sustainable development agenda? Anyone from you? Excuse me. Yes, anyone, because I don't have that. Usually what I do, I will ask you to answer the question, but I have some technical issues with Nearport. So I'm unable to ask you to write it down. Instead, I'm asking one of you to answer my question so that we make this as an interactive class. Yes, anyone can come up. You can also write in the chat box. I also prefer someone answer this. How do you think university can contribute to sustainable development agenda? I think some of them I already given the answers. So let me ask one of you. Wasila, can you answer this question?
Yes, Prof.
Yes, Wasila, can you answer this question? How can university contribute to sustainable development agenda?
Apart from including the subject in the courses of the university students,
Very good.
apart from that,
That's one thing that we are doing. Very good. Can I have one more? Can I have other answers? This is a good answer. Hazik said use clean energy. like make their own renewable energy. Very good. This is also very good, so that we can have a place where we can actually generate renewable energy rather than using the so-called electricity. That's a good one. One more, please. That's very go green movement. That's very general, Putri. Just very general. You need to be specific. Yeah. Any specific answers? You can write it down in the chat box. At least 3 answers for me. Yes, tamam. Teach students. Yeah, that was the first. That was what Wasila said. Teach students about values of sustainable development. Yeah, she already said that. Anything else?
Prof, like the last time I visited UIE, there was this campaign on reducing single-use plastic. So the university has
Very
this
good.
campaign to
Yes,
promote students to bring their own bottles, bags, like that.
exactly.
Yeah,
Very good.
that's a very brilliant idea.
Very good. Thank you for reminding that. Yes, we had that campaign. Our rector, he started with it. Actually, he said everyone should, even we ban plastics, even straw, even plastic straw. Right now, we don't use it in campus, but I don't know what's happening in Mahalla. But it is actually banned within the campus. The single plastics and also the straw. In fact, even the stirrers, the stirrers in plastics all actually banned. Okay, so these are the things. You see, now you can understand what you can do, starting from your class, from your classroom, from your year, from your faculty. What are the things, what else you can actually do. This is how you have to think that university can contribute. Okay, what are your roles as university students towards sustainable development? I think it's pretty much. Yeah, I have one more. University serves as the bridge between childhood and adulthood. As people grow and mature, education serves as the foundation to moving towards a brighter future with campaigns as mentioned and much more. Okay, good. That's a good point as well. Yes, that is the significance of universities, Mahyuddin. Thank you, Mahyuddin, for the idea. So now we need to also, from the significance, we need to define our role. Okay, university, this is what the significance is, but what is my role to play? How am I supposed to do? What do you think, Mahyuddin, that if I ask you to play your role, what will you do? Just give me your answers. What will you do? Starting from you. If let's say I say start from you. We talk about this sustainable development, right? Since now week 6 now, 6 weeks already. So how do you, what will you do as a person? What have you done actually? Maybe in the past. Is there something that you have done in order to promote this sustainable development rather than talking about it? Is there any act? Is there any practice that you follow so that it is helping towards sustainable development? Anyone, anybody? Please at least give me 1 or 2 answers. It's fine. I just want to make as an interactive class. Yeah.
Doctor,
Yes, please.
what we could do personally, it is actually something that I've been doing for the past 2 years.
Very good.
It's a
What?
simple thing. It's just that I didn't use plastic bags whenever I'm purchasing
Very
stuff.
good.
So I always carry around a small, it's not a paper bag, but it's also a plastic bag. But as long as I'm only using one, so I think it's enough.
You are reusing the same thing. You don't use it. You don't make you single use.
Yeah,
So see, and then you are every time you go out, you always keep that thing with you, right?
yeah.
And then you constantly aware, you constantly, I mean, you are conscious about it when when you are buying something, and then when they give you inside the plastic bag, what do you say?
I'm from Selangor, so if I'm not mistaken, it's been implemented by the government, the Selangor government, to pay for 20 cent for a single
Yes.
plastic bag.
Yeah.
So having the option not to
Do
pay
you
the
pay?
extra, I know I don't.
Do you
Never,
pay? That's a
never.
question. Even though you are capable of paying, but are you paying? That is the question, right?
No, I won't pay.
Very good, very good. See, this is what I want actually. This is very good. See, you are already understanding. It's not because the government is banning, but you are. This is what you know. You yourself. You are what we call it. You are molding yourself into that kind of attitude. That attitude is actually going to help reduce plastic usage. So if you can do, why others cannot do, right? So by not like you want to only talk about it, you want to do it. When you are doing it, now definitely, if let's say Ayman is doing this, definitely tomorrow Ayman's children also will do this because they learn from Papa, right? So this is going to continue like that, and then it also has some, because nowadays, of course, we do that most of the time. Wherever they are asking, do you want plastic, then we realize, oh, okay, they're asking about plastic. Then at the beginning, it's like, like 3 4 years ago, when they asked, do you want plastic, I said, yeah, why are you asking, give me plastic. But now when they are asking, we suddenly think, oh, they are asking, which means that it is a 20 cent for definitely. At the same time, they are asking, it gives me a hope that it's triggering me that, okay, I should not use that plastic. So I say, Tapaya, no need plastic. So I just carry with my hand, and then I go back to my car, and then, go back to my home with that. That's the kind of thing, we need to have that attitude. Yes, Wasila, you were saying something. Wasila, are you there? You wanted to say something? Okay, using a stainless steel straw. Yes, that's the question is, do you do that? That's the thing. When someone gives you, when you order for a drink, let's say, let's say today, for example, after 2 hours, you're gonna have your breaking your fast. So when someone giving you, will you say, I don't want that? When someone gives you in plastic, you say that, okay, I don't want it. So this is how ourself we mold ourselves into something. And then we have Khatija. Our roles towards sustainable development as university student is reduce electric waste. Since we always use laptop and charger, but small little things is just switch it off and using it. Yes, this is another one. Very good. Yes, it happens most of the time. We keep it open, and we forget to switch off our laptop, and then we also keep the extension is on. So you can do this, actually small thing, right? So you switch off it, and then you shut it down, and the next time when you need it, you switch it off. This is amazing. Very good point. Exactly. The other one is eco wudu with green umma. Yes, very good. This is also a good example. When you, this is all you are doing every single day, right? For example, you go now, after this you go you take wudu, right? So when you take wudu, you think about it. Should I waste money? Should I took too much water, or is it enough for me to slightly open the tab and then just use it little bit water, right? So these are the things. Every one of us, it has to start from us, right? That is what the purpose of this question. Thank you for your answers. Okay, the role of the university. We had some talk, and of course our rector is giving talk everywhere. So these are the questions, fundamental questions. If you want to ask yourself, you can say, is there anything wrong with university's education system now? Do you receive education that is needed by society needs or what industry needs? Do you think you are being educated to be a balanced person or being prepared for jobs, employability? What do you think about the education you are receiving in IIUM now? Why, where, and what is the role of Islam in the universities? So these are the basic questions that you need to ask. Every one of us should ask ourselves, right? So what is this education system now? You see, the university is giving you an education, a system of education because you wanted it, right? It's not that we are giving you, we are saying that, okay, whatever that we are giving you, you should buy it. No. Because before you join this university, you always do some sort of, some sort of data collection or data checking and everything. You will be seeing that, okay, survey something like, for example, this university is good for it. What about this course? What about this faculty, right? So which means that we are offering actually something that you wanted, right? But not necessarily that we are doing the right thing. You go to McD and then you ask for double cheeseburger and they offer you. You wanted double cheeseburger, that's why they are offering you. It doesn't mean that McD is offering the right thing. That's a very simple example coming to me, right? Maybe this maybe you love this. Oh, we should not even talk about it because it's posa, right? Fasting. I'm just giving an example because you know, when you are eating that kind of stuff, which is actually fast food, which is actually something is not good for health, and most of us, we know that it is not good for health, but still we go for it. It's because of, you know, our nafsu asking all the time. So now, is it McD? Is it McDonald is actually doing the right thing? No, they are not. They are not doing the right thing, because as long as you wanted that, they have to offer. So similarly, the education system today is actually we are giving you a system, an education system. That's because tomorrow in the market, you need to go to the market and then you need to work. For that, you need some skill and you need some knowledge, and you want to take it from here. I'm talking about typical universities, right? So that's why this is what happening in all over the world. That's why when it comes to education, they don't actually they don't think about the universe. They don't think about the green. They don't think about the resources and all, because they only think about money. They only think about the material wealth when it comes to education. That's why you can see that many places in European countries and American countries, the educations are very expensive. That's because it is a business, right? And then you started coming, and then you sort it out, and then you wanted to choose this university, which is Islamic, is the International Islamic University, because we have some values, and at the same time we are teaching you, we are giving you the package. At the same time, we want to give you the real values, which is Islamic values. That's why I hope you chose this university. Also, your parents, they chose, or they made you choose this university. So now you need to see whether there is a balance or not. Are you learning the values at the same time you are capable of employability? The employability is another case, because tomorrow you go and you need to work. Again, where you will go tomorrow, where you will work tomorrow, it's not in our hand, because you will choose. It's up to you. It is up to you whether you want to work in a company whereby they omit carbon emissions, they spread carbon emissions. You want to work in a company where they make most of the electric wastages. You're gonna work in a company where they where they consume lots and lots of water or other resources, where they are cutting all the trees, where they are extracting all the minerals. We don't know. You may choose those companies. It is up, totally it is up to you. You want tomorrow, you want to go and you want to choose those companies, it is totally up to you. Again, like the way that you chose to come to this university, you need to also think and survey and also test where you really want to become, where you really want to go and work. So your employability is in your hand, whereby you need to choose the right. So if there is a company who is offering a lots and lots of money, at the same time, let's say they are selling tobacco, for good example, there's a company, they didn't want you to manufacture tobacco, but they really want you to become the regional manager or counselor or advisor to that company, where is actually the payment is good. So now how do you value, how do you have the balance between what we teach in the university, the Islamic values, and then the employability? Yes, you are good, you have the skill, so the company is ready to hire you because you have the skill and you have a good grade, and then if you go to that company will use you, and then they make millions out of you, they make money from you because they want your skill. But what about the values that you learn, especially the Islamic values? Now you are learning the sustainable values, we can call it sustainable values. So it is you who is going to choose the right work, the right job for you. So this is all actually what we need to understand. And if necessary, you don't have to go and work for someone, you make others work for you, which means you create jobs. You create jobs. You don't have to follow the path where people were following. You can create the path so that other people can follow the path. So you become the new owner of a company. You become a new, so you do startup, and then from there you promote your company, your values, because when you are the owner, you are the startup owner, you don't have to report to anybody. You will just start working yourself. When you are start working yourself, you will bring your own your own values. You can practice it independently. So these are the things. This is where actually you need to understand. You are coming to this university, and then from this university you are going. So you need to understand this and then try to balance your values and your employability, right? Okay, so these are the book that already available. If you want to see about the universities, usually the university, what they call it, excellence without a soul. I also came across something very nice. Some of my friend, actually one of them, he sent me a message. I don't know, still I have it with me. I think I have it. Yeah. Okay, let me read this message. Okay, why don't I share with you so that all of us can read this together? Yeah. So please check your WhatsApp. I sent a JPEG, an image of information. How to destroy a country. Very true. At the entrance gate of a university in South Africa, the following message was posted for contemplation. Okay, so read. Destroying any nation does not require the use of atomic bombs or the use of long-range missiles. It only requires lowering the quality of education and allowing cheating in the examination by the students. Patients die at the hands of such doctors. Buildings collapse at the hands of such engineers. money is lost at the hands of such economists and accountants. Humanity dies at the hands of such religious scholars. Justice is lost at the hands of such judges. The collapse of education is the collapse of nation. I think you can understand now clearly. So this is what I've been talking to you right now, because this is where the role of university is quite important. What you learn from here, what we make you here, this is what you're gonna be in the future. That's why if we teach you only the books and only the formulas, so we are making you a machine. We are making you a AI machine, that's it, or a Terminator, for example. But if we give you the values together with the knowledge, then we are making you a human, not like an ordinary human, a very good superhuman who can excel in both in moral society and also in economic society, in social, in environmental society. This is where actually there are many books written, like for example, Excellence Without a Soul, The Lost Soul of Higher Education. So these are the things. When it comes to Naqib al-Attas, I think some of you may know, most of you don't know. He is a scholar, great scholar. He's a Malaysian great scholar. I was able to study under his institute. The institute is actually in Jalan Duta. It is called ISTAC. So he wrote a book called The Concept of Education in Islam. He said the process of attaining knowledge, producing a man of adab. Knowledge is arrival of meaning in the soul, and the soul's arrival of meaning. So this is amazing. So knowledge has to arrive of the meaning in the soul, and the soul's arrival of meaning. So this is something that, you know, if there is a knowledge and you are not practicing it, it is not a knowledge. Knowledge is not something that you remember or you memorize it, but it has to come out when you are in a situation to practice it. It has to come out. I cannot say that I only teach how to do fasting, but I don't fast. It's not like I only teach how to be kind to the people, but I don't have to be the kind to the people. I only teach how to pray, but I don't have to pray. So this is what we call secular kind of knowledge. Something that you are preaching, something that you are not practicing, right? So this is all comes when it comes to talk about the role of the universities. There are some other books that we have. We have Falsafa Pendidikan Kebangsaan, Leading the Way, Higher Education, right? So this is what we talked about, this Falsafa Pendidikan Kebangsaan. This is where, you know, you have this intellect, rohani, emosi, jasmani, the four things. Yeah. So this is all already there. This Falsafa Pendidikan Kebangsaan is been there for so long in our constitution. This is the Malaysian constitution, higher education philosophy, right? And this is the national philosophy of education. As you can see here, this is started in 1988, right? Education in Malaysia is an ongoing effort towards further developing the potential of an individual in a holistic and integrated manner, so as to produce individuals who are intellectually, spiritually, emotionally, and physically balanced and harmonic, based on the firm belief in and devotion to God. So this is very, very important, that the way we see knowledge, it's not that the Western countries, they don't see in this way. Western countries, they see it in the materialistic way. They don't see it in spiritually. They don't see it spiritually. We only see spiritual. So that's why we have material and spiritual integrated together. You cannot be only spiritual like the Eastern world. You cannot be only material like the Western world. You need to know the integration of these two things together. This is the success, right? And we also have this national philosophy of education. Like we have this nafs, aqal, nasab, mal, deen. This is what we taught you when we talk about maqasid sharia, right? Nafs, aqal, nasab, mal, deen. Then we have this, okay, this is what actually they call it 3M, manpower, mind, machine. And then you have money. So manpower, mind, machine, and then it goes to money. But we have 4H, we call it. We call it is humanity for vision, and then heart for understanding, and we call it high touch for clarity, and humility for agility. So you can see that these are the thing factor, the factory, this is what we call the factory production. Yeah, the factory mass teaching methods on third revolution era have failed to conquer enduring problems of inequity and unfairness. So this is what's happening today. When the university is producing, or the university is manufacturing student, this is what actually they do. They make manpower, they make minds, and then they make machines. But on the other hand, what we are trying to do is actually we want to manufacture humanity, heart, high touch, and humility. Okay. And this is what we have the universities and sustainable development. We have this research. There are many research going on based on SDG. We have interdisciplinary research, transdisciplinary research. What are they? Which means that, you know, for example, the economic faculty and ICT faculty can work together, for example. Or you can, for example, the ICT and also the legal unit, the law faculty can work together. So this is what we call interdisciplinary and also transdisciplinary research. It is no more no more required silos. What I mean by silo is actually that you work only in one faculty and you become the expert of one thing. No, the world now, now the world looking, now the world is looking for multi-talented, multi experts in many fields. That's why these are the work they are asking now, come together and work together. What we call it collaborative learning. This is very important. And look, this is one of the classroom that where we can have this collaborative learning, because all of you from different faculties. That's the reason why we want to have the group discussion, group term papers, work together, whereby someone from law can give the legal aspect, someone from ICT can give some technical aspect, someone from IRK can give some religious aspect, someone from economics can give some economic aspect. So this is where there is a need for working together. Yeah. Education for sustainable development. Yeah, this is here. And then, okay, now you can see this. This is how our university has created this system, the education system, based on campus operations, research, and curriculum. This is what we call it, institutional sustainability. You can see that our curriculum based on our research and our operation. So that's why this course, especially the sustainable development course, is based on operations. As you can see now, there is only 1 or 2 weeks actually we have it for this kind of lecture. After that, we don't have lectures. We will have some weeks to observe what's happening around and then update. So most probably we are going, we have to make some observations. Most probably it could help your project as well. Yeah. So campus operations, we have teaching and learning. Also we have a research and innovations, and we have community engagement. See, these three things again comes together. Teaching and learning is what I'm doing now, but researching is something that what you are doing when you are writing your term paper. So teaching and learning, and then research. Number 3 is something that you know, we learn everything, we are good, we make amount of wealth, I mean, amount of knowledge, wealth of knowledge. But the community just beside our university, for example, how many of us that we have visited Kampong Sungai Pusu? How many of us even know that there is a Kampong Sungai Pusu there? It's just beside our university. There are a couple of families are there. The other side we have Orang Asli family. How many of us we have visited? So this is what we call community engagement. If we cannot bring changes just outside our university, how it is possible for all of us to bring changes in the world if we don't change just the possible close people? How we are going to change the people that who are very far from us, right? So the change has to happen, and that definitely has to happen from here, from your close, from your neighborhood. It has to happen from the neighborhood. And this is why we are learning, how we are learning sustainability, learning to know, learning to do, learning to live together, learning to be, learning to become. This is something important as well. Why are you learning? Of course, to know. That is the first thing. So that by learning to know, you learn the general knowledge. You will understand what is it all about. Next, you do. When you are doing, I mean, learning to do means you will have the skills, the competence, the practical ability to do sort of things, right? This is what we call it learning to do. Then we have learning to live together, which means tolerance. So that we are learning now, and then we are doing, and then we are here. We cannot run away from our own people. We cannot say that nobody is following, so that I want to run away from this place. No, we need to learn how to live together. This is what we call it. Tolerance must be there. All right. Mutual understanding must be there. Interdependence is there. That's why this is very important. When you are living in a country which is a multiracial or multi-religious country, the tolerance is the first thing is required. Without it, you will not bring harmony in the country. Then you have learning to be, personal autonomy, responsibility, memory, aesthetics, ethics, communication, physical capacity. Then you have the learning to become. Then you will become something. This is how you will become something. Okay, you can also see this knowledge, skills, attitude again comes together. To be knowledge, to do, knowledge to do, and then attitude to know. So you see, to know, to be, to do, it comes with these three things, a triangular shape. And then this is again the learning for sustainability, implying from this and to become that. The first one here you can see transmissive learning. This is from transmissive learning to learning through discovery. From teacher-centered approach to learner-centered approach. So this is what we call it, learner-centered approach. That's why all the time I stop and ask, what do you think? It is not that only I give charama, right? It's not only I give you the talk. I want you to also give me back, so that it is a learner-centered approach. This is not individual learning. This is collaborative learning, right? We learn from each other, every one of us. When you give me the idea, it really makes this class to the next level, right? That's why I want you to give idea. Even if it's a bad idea, don't worry, just give your idea. Focus on self-regulating learning and real issue orientation. Also cognitive effect and skills related objectives. Also learning with staff, but also with and from outsiders. Also this is higher level cognitive thinking. This is all what we are becoming. So teaching, learning, and then you have this exposure, then you have the acceptance, then you have another side, you have again exposure, you will start thinking, you will start internalizing, and then you do acceptance. So this is all again comes together. The knowledge not only for the skill and attitude, the knowledge for exposure, right? You need to know how to experiment what you learn. You need to do that. Do the experiment, go for the exposure, and then think about it and then internalize it. Okay. Then we have this T personality student, what we call this, it comes from generic knowledge, like everybody else. For example, at the beginning of the year, like year 1 and year 2, all of you from your faculty, you will be learning the same thing. But when you go to level 3 and level 4, you need to choose your department. You need to choose your specialization, right? So you will become into that. So this is where you become the specialized knowledge expertise. And then we have this research for sustainability, like I said, learning and teaching for sustainability, and this is a research for sustainability. We are actually doing it. In fact, the research that currently we are conducting, we are doing it collaborating with the Ministry of Higher Education, like lecturers like us, and also students like you can also join us. For example, I have applied for fundamental research grant, which means that I'm trying to work on SDG number 12. Anyone can tell me what is SDG number 12? Anyone? Anyone? If you remember, it's already there in the screen as well. So SDG number 12, what is it?
Responsible consumption.
Very good. Thank you so much. Okay, number 12 is responsible consumption and production. So now I'm doing a work, I'm doing a research talking about, how do we become responsible in consuming something? Because consumption comes based on the production, right? Even whatever that you need, according to your demand, supply will be there. So now I'm thinking to, I'm actually, I have started working on, looking into the values that Islam is teaching us. For example, contentment. Contentment is the word we in Arabic we call it qana'ah, right? So qana'ah means that you make yourself, you satisfy with what you have. Whatever that Allah has given you, this is good enough for me. So which means that it is against greed, yeah, because human is greedy. But if he can have the value, which is we call contentment, there is a possibility that he might use less, and when you use less, the production will be less. So when the production will be less, the resources will be saved for the next generation. So this is what we call sustainability, right? So now this is what I'm doing. Of course, I also use my students. My students also can come and join in that project. So hopefully, if even next semester, if you are in different faculty, still is fine. If you are concerning about this SDG number 12, which is responsible consumption and production, so please contact me. All right, I will give you some work to do. You can become part of my work, and you can also become my RA, research assistant. Yeah? All right. This is the research that we are talking about. And see, we have some examples. He is a Muslim. He's from Egypt, and he got a Nobel Prize in chemistry. I think most of us, we don't know he's a Muslim. His name is Ahmed Zewail. Around 22 years ago, he got this Nobel Prize. And this is what we talk about, the triple helix model or quadruple helix model, whereby an university has to be in a place where we have to deal with government and also business private sector. You can see in the first figure, you can see triple helix. You can see government, businesses, and academic institute, right? In the second picture down there, you will see quadruple helix model. You will see the same government, business, academic, but there is one more which is general public civil society. So now it seems like what you see right now as an undergraduate student, you see that we are actually teaching, and then you are learning, and then you do your exams, and then you get your CGPA, and then you are going. But what's happening, it's not that we are only teaching, because teaching is we are only doing, for example, 15 hours per week, right? The remaining time that what we are doing is something that we do research. And when we do research, remember, as just now I told you an example of what I'm doing, that I'm collaborating with the government, which is the Ministry of Education, right? Similarly, I can also collaborate with some companies. Let's say a company, let's say ICT, let's say some of you from ICT, right? So maybe a company can collaborate, can ask one of your lecturers from ICT to write a program for them, or to create a model which can help their business. So in engineering, this is what they are doing all the time. For example, when they do the research on battery, for example, the lithium, the battery, they are actually doing the research on how to reduce the weight of the battery. What are the other carbons or graphite? For example, now they are doing designing batteries from graphites. I think you know the graphites. So this is because it's thin and thinner, so that the substance becomes smaller and smaller, and because of that the weight is going to be less. And also you can keep it for, I mean, you can keep it for longer time. So these are the research is actually happening in universities. University people are the one who will start doing it, and then later it will become a product in business. This is how, that's why I want you to understand this triple helix model. The reason I'm telling you this, because if the university is promoting a sustainable way of manufacturing things, if the university is promoting a healthy lifestyle, then that will reflect in business sectors, and that will also reflect to the general public civil society. That's why you need to know that how important is academic higher education system. Yeah. Okay, here we have the translational research. We have the water security. We have the MOHI, geotourism, automation and robotics. See, as I told you, these are the few examples that we are doing. Even we have projects, research project on affordable homes. Even we have the research on food security. If you happen to be in Kuantan, I don't think we have any Kuantan students here. If there is any Kuantan students, please raise your hand. I just want to know. In Kuantan, what we do, we have a big lab. Even we have fishes. We have even, there is a blood that they are extracting from the crab. Do you think it is possible? Let me tell you, this particular crab, they don't have the blood in a red color. The blood is blue. This is something different. I came to know recently. One of my colleague is actually doing research on it. The reason he is doing it, because for him, this blood will be used to reduce or detect the toxins when there is a cancer patient is actually usually in any medicine before it goes to the market, the medicine should be tested, and then whatever the toxins in the medicine should be removed, extracted from the formula. It has to be extracted. So this particular blood comes from that particular, they call it horse scrub something, horse scrub crab something. You can do Google. So that particular crab is actually used for this kind of toxin removing program. So you see, this is all happening. There are so many other things are happening, which university is doing it. And yes, this is your first year. I think you may not know this, but please find out what's happening in your own faculty, and find out what your lecturers are doing. You can go and find any professors in your department and ask him what kind of research you are doing, sir. I just want to know, is there any way that I can collaborate? Is there any way that I can also take part of it? Remember, I know sometimes you think learning your courses is too much difficult to you, and then doing the assessments again too much difficult to you, but you might be thinking, where am I supposed to go for this additional work? But let me tell you, if you properly manage your time, you still have plenty of time. You can give your additional time, especially, I tell you, especially in the short semesters when you are free, you don't have courses that you are taking. If you can use that 2 semesters and you work under one professor and you think how they are doing the research, and if it is the research is towards the sustainability, you are actually taking part of it. And remember, what you're gonna gain, you will gain an exposure to it, you will have the experience to it. Definitely the professors will give you the certificate of participation. If my students, I always give them the certificate of the participation, which actually you can use it to improve your CV. Remember, most of the time people think they can do some additional courses or additional skill or learning to input in their CV to increase their level of CV. But let me tell you, once you graduated, you will never have time to go and learn some additional skills. So if you want to learn some additional skills and you want to have some additional experiences which you want to put in your CV, this is the time for you. The time that you are a student, within these 4 years of the time, make sure that you use it and you have some sort of experience, whether it is a national collaboration or international collaboration. Anywhere, if there is a chance for you to come to become the committee member, become the committee member. If there is someone asking you to do something, work, or become the MC for a program, become it, do it. Because tomorrow when you go to the job market, when you give your CV, everybody else will have the same CV like you have. What exactly make your CV distinguished? What exactly make your CV exceptional? Only these kinds of additional experiences. So please do it wherever the chances are there. Keep in mind, you do it, make sure that you keep it in your CV so that it will help you tomorrow, right? So this is all what we are doing in the university. And we have more. We have the target of research. We are doing this for sometime. We do the research for B40, we do the research for T20. This all comes around. See, this is all also we have which kind of research is needed. You can see what kind of research needed if you look at this picture. Again, there are so many changes you can bring. This is all comes from the universities, these kind of changes, like the gadgets, like you have the fully what we call it, EVs, electronic vehicles. And you can see that this is all again, these are the equipments actually manufactured in the universities. like ice cream goreng. This machine, there are so many machines you can see in the picture. Machine for chocolates, machine for durian, machine. So many things it can come out while you are in the university, because you have lab to do it. In your own faculty, they have the lab. Students have the launch and the lab, and you can actually, if you have the idea, go for it. Talk to your professors and come up with some idea. Try to make it. Try to publish it. This is all gonna help you for your future. So these are the requirements of research: sustainability, appropriateness, affordability, accessibility, availability. You can actually read this. Okay, we talked about the research, and we talked about, before that we talked about the teaching. So as I told you, we have the teaching and then research. Number 3, we should go for community engagement. So how do you contribute for sustainability of the community that you are living in? So please ask these questions yourself. Try to understand the question. How do you contribute for the community that you are living in? So this is our third mission of universities. Universities have been given a new mission to transfer technologies in addition to their traditional mission of research and education. And this is what's happening now. Students can help cities become beacons of sustainability. And this is another web content. Because of that, we became the International Green Gown Award Benefiting Society finalist in 2020. And this is what happened. This is what we are going to talk about: the post-COVID higher education and sustainability. All right, again the same slide that I posted last time. Okay, again here there is a video. Actually, I was not able to play this. Here they are talking about what kind of problems we had in the universities. In fact, you know, some of the universities even were able to make you only success, but they fail to make you excellent. So now you may ask me, what is the difference between being successful and being the excellent? Right. So I think this video is a good video, but I was not able to play. So it says that, you know, when you are good in your mathematics, and when you are good in your science and biology, and when someone asks you a question, or we ask you in final exams, you were able to get A. That's because you read what it is being given to you to read, and then you try to memorize it, or you understand that particular thing, and then you go to exam and then you did it. So you passed. You are a successful man. But it doesn't mean that you learn the excellency, because excellence is not about how you memorize things. Excellence is something that you go deep and then you understand the entirety. What we call it, comprehensive excellence. This is what we call it. Like we have it in our mission. We have in our vision of IIUM, we have it: integrity, internationalization, integration, Islamization, internationalization, and comprehensive excellence. So this is something that I want you to become. I don't want you to become success. I want you to become excellent. When I talk about excellent, you have to know that you have to give your time for everything. You cannot be only good at your studies. You have to be good at your friends. You have to be good at your families. You have to be good at your teachers. You know, you have to show kindness, and then you have to be a complete man. You have to be aggressive, at the same time active student. You have to be open. First of all, you have to be open. You cannot be some sort of moody all the time, because this is an opportunity for us that we can collaborate. We have internationals and locals. We have so many differences, but we are here in the same single class. So here we have our own WhatsApp group. We can discuss, we can collaborate. So this is where actually we can become, we can excel. We can excel in our studies. Not to become successful, but to become excellence. All right, then that's all from me. Let me just open the floor for a couple of questions and also some feedback. So please, the floor is yours.